Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview, Norwich City versus Everton. A huge opportunity for Everton to get 3 points at the bottom team in the Premier League. And you know, I'm not saying those words massively confident about them, but a huge opportunity for Everton to get a Premier League win in 2022. And simply, you know, you can scratch around the surface, but Everton should be winning a game like this. Like, I've got to be winning a game like this.
Absolutely, got to win. It's as simple as that. We've been on a horrific run. We've won one game since we last beat them at Goodison on September the 25th, which is embarrassing. And the manager's under huge pressure. Absolutely huge pressure the manager's under now. I'd go as far as saying if they lose Saturday, I'd expect them to be sacked. I'd expect it, doesn't mean it would happen.
Yeah.
Because this simply can't continue. He's ran out of excuses as far as I'm concerned. There's nowhere to go now other than starting to win games. And this has got to be the first place we go and win. They're struggling. They lost again to West Ham, 2-0. So it's up to us to go there and assert ourselves. We've got more than enough in the team to beat them. But unless we get it right at the back, then we're going to make our own problems again. We've conceded the first goal, I think, in the last 8 games or something. I think it was one of the things is read or whatever the amount of games. It's been quite a few. It's no good. It's not good enough.
No. And like you mentioned there, you know, we've only won one game since we beat them last time. Norwich have won a couple of games, and I think I've got 4 draws. I think they picked up 10 points. We've only picked up 6. So they're the form team going into this game. I don't think they've scored in the last 6 again, like they got beat last night, as I said, to West Ham. And
they've scored 8 goals all season.
Yeah, when we played them at Goodison, it wasn't massively convincing, certainly at 1-0. We deserved to win, but only, you know, it was a bit of a slog, wasn't it, that day? Saturday, we just have to stop making mistakes and doing things and making sure we do things properly. And I think if we do that, we should be all right. For me, you know, you just mentioned it, going behind, starting games slow. We have to put all that to bed. We have to. And, you know, this has got to be the game. You can't give a club like Norwich any encouragement. So we've got to go, and we've got to put them to the sword. And hopefully we'll have players, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, hopefully he's available. We've seen him back in training. So that's good. Michalenko's got a game under his belt. You know, be interesting to see what he does on the other side with Patterson. Be interesting to see what he does with the formation. But we've got to get hold of this game. We've got to get control of it early on, and not give them a sniff. Because let's get it right. Norwich will see this as a game that they can win. Yeah, they will be looking at the games that they've got and go, Everton, massive trouble. Haven't won an away game since August in the Premier League. They'll be looking at it thinking, this is a game we can take points from. Definitely. If the crowd get behind us, which they will, Carroll Road, they always get behind them. They'll be thinking, we can win this game. If we get in front, these will fall to bits. These have got issues. And that's what Everton have got to avoid on Saturday. They've got to go in there and start the game well. They have to.
Got to. Like I've just said, they've only scored 8 goals all season. They conceded 44. So they're not great at either end. And it's up to us to show our quality. And there's been times this season when we've shown it. There's been games we've lost where we've done all right in bits, and yet we've just then made a stupid error, conspired to concede a goal that was, you know, a ridiculous goal or a mistake or not picking up a runner or a set piece, and you're behind, or you've give a team encouragement. You know, we've lost games you should never have lost, but it doesn't mean anything. It's all about the points, and we've got to go out, and I think we've only scored 5 times or 5 goals in the first half against this season, which is awful. Yeah. It's absolutely awful. These things have got to start being addressed by the manager and by the players, and you know, there's big pressure on the manager. Obviously, Luca Dean's left and has thrown a couple of digs. Everton's way, Bernard's had the same. And that has just cranked up the pressure on the manager. And so the team have got to go out and perform. He's got to make sure that he picks the right team. He picks the team to go out and win the game, and they get on the front foot early and put Norwich under pressure, because if Everton take the lead, when you're down at the bottom, there is the tendency to go, there we go again. You know, and they're not high on confidence, regardless of saying the crowd will get behind them and you can see it as a game they can win. They go behind in the game that they feel like they can win. It's, there we go again, and it's up to Everton then to be able to defend properly and put them to bed.
So it's week 22 of Ultimate Fan. There's a prize pot of £5,000. The packs have dropped. Let's go in and let's pick my team. There you go. Charlison, is he going to be available for Everton this weekend? I'm thinking he probably won't be available for Everton this weekend. So who am I going to put in his place? Difficult one, this, because I've got to replace Salah as well. So I'm going to put Kevin De Bruyne in the team. Mo Salah, who am I going to replace him with? Well, I'm going to go for Romelu Lukaku. Surely it's about time he started scoring some goals for Chelsea. He's got over his little spat with him, and I'm thinking he might get the goals this week. I have got Manchester City as my team. They're going in as well. They are playing Chelsea. It is a difficult game for them, but I'm putting him in as well. Phil Foden, is he carrying a knock? Will he be available? I'm going to put in Tielemans for him. I don't want to have too many Manchester City players in there. So I think that looks all right. Bruno Fernandes, he hasn't been in great form recently. Sort of been put out of joint by Ronaldo, not being in his best form. So I'm going to put Saka in there. He's been doing well for Arsenal recently. I know they got beaten the cup last week, but I'm going to put him in there. And who am I going to put? Golden Boot, I'm going to go for Lukaku. And the captain, I'm going to go for Kevin De Bruyne. So there you go. That's my team this week for Ultimate Fan. Make sure you get involved by clicking the link in the description. Also, make sure if you do join, that you join the Toffee TV League so you can compete with us every single week. See if you can get the better of me, Baz and Ned every single week. Don't forget, you can play for free, or you can get 2 subscription models. $2.99 is the silver pack, and $4.99 is the gold pack. 2 guaranteed gold cards and a silver card in that pack, plus lots more offers from Ultimate Fans. So make sure you check out. The link is in the description.
Yeah, because these next few games now, the next 4 or 5, you know, in the league and the cup, they're winnable. The games that you'd look at at the beginning of the season and go, these are very winnable games. These are the points you've got to pick up if you wanted to finish in a European place or whatever. And it's the same now. You know, we've been promised that literally promised by the manager and the CEO that the second half of the season will be better because we're getting new players in and because players are coming back from injury. Well, this is where it starts, or maybe it started a whole last week. That this is now in the Premier League where it starts. You know, 1 Premier League game so far this year. Obviously, we got beat, but we have to go there because it isn't actually acceptable to get anything but 3 points at Norwich, because they are a poor side, and that's not me saying we're a good side, by the way, but that they are a poor side. And
Everton have got better players.
Yeah, they have got better players, and they've got to show that, and that's down to the manager, and it's down to those players to find, you know, bit of professionalism, cut out the mistakes. But for me, it comes down to the start. Get out the blocks early, and really, you know, put them under pressure from the start. And I think, you know, the formation will play a big part in that. What would you be looking to go 4-3-3 for this game? Try and get hold of that midfield, get a dominance in midfield, because what I saw from them, Goodison, was actually a team that weren't too bad in possession, but it was at the other end of the pitch, or the 2 ends of the pitch. But in the middle of the park, I thought they were all right. At Goodison, they do get hold of the ball. And I think for us, we have to get hold of that area, not just in this game, but in every game.
Yeah, I think Norman didn't play in midweek, so I'm hoping he's not fit either, because he was really good at Goodison. But Everton have got to have 3 men in midfield, as far as I'm concerned. 5 at the back's not working for us. Whether it works long term, I don't know. It's not working. Right now, we're still all over the place. The people can make excuses for the manager, saying he's trying to, because he doesn't trust this, he's trying to put another defender in. It's not working. It's simply not working. So I'd go 4-3-3. I'd have you'd have to start Gomez, wouldn't you? Gomez, Allen and Decore in the middle of the park. And then have Gray. Townsend's fit again now. See, this is the problem, isn't it? I mean, the temptation might be to go 4-2-3-1, which is what he started the season with Damari Gray in the 10, and then Gordon off the left and Townsend on the right. But he could play 4-3-3 with Townsend tucking in the midfield, which he did against Spurs at home. You had Gordon on the right and Gray on the left. And Townsend was one of the three midfielders, so we could do that. But we've got to make sure that we get hold of the ball, and we're difficult to break down. I think you can do that more with three midfield players. You can block the passing lanes off. You can make it a 4-5-1 at times, and then try to hit them on the counter attack.
We've got to get hold of the game in the middle of the park, simply because when you're playing 3 at the back or 5, whichever way you look at it. But the problem is, once the ball gets into that zone, that final zone, we cause our own problems, whether it be set pieces or just defending full stop. We've got to start catching teams higher up the pitch, not letting them get chances, not letting them get into an area, because defensively you're a mess. Stop giving cheap corners away, cheap free kicks on the edge of the box. Win the ball in the middle of the park and start, winning it higher up the pitch and starting to use our counter-attack, our plays with pace, whether it be Damari Gray, whether it be, Gordon, whether Townsend is playing, whoever it is. Yeah. And then if Dominic Calvert-Lewin starts again, which we all hope he does, then start, obviously using his ability to hold the ball up and stretch teams. So for me, it's how we approach the game. If we approach the game where we sit back and allow and say, oh, we're going to counter-attack, we're going to cause our own problems. Because I think back to the Crystal Palace game, that was the big problem in that game. We sat back thinking, oh, we'll catch these. But because we're not defensively stable enough, we just cause our own problems. Counter-attacking teams who can't defend are never going to do anything. You have to be able to defend on the edge of, whether it be the edge of your box. We've proved we can't do that. So we have to start getting hold of the ball in the middle of the park, and that's our starting point then. And it'd be easy, if people go, oh, you'll lose some kind of creativity. We haven't got any creativity in there anyway, so we might as well have another player in. And whether it is Townsend coming over and joining, or whether it's Gomez, so we've got maybe someone on the ball a little bit better, we have to change things up because it's not working. And as I said, I don't think there's any excuses anymore, Baz. Like you said, I think we're coming now to a point where we've got this game away and we've got Villa at home. And after that's an international break. And for a lot of people, it's 6 points. 6 points up. For a lot of people, it'll just be, why didn't you go last week? For me, I look at it and think you've got to win one of these games, and you can't lose either of them. But because that international break could be a big crunch point for this football club, because they're going to have to make a decision because we can't keep going. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. If you start getting into a situation where you start running out of games and you're like, oh, it's all right because he's coming back next week and he's coming back next week and he'll be fit and all that. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all.
No one else has stood still, have they? No one's going, we'll pause till those players are back. We've got to get points now. Games are running out. Everton can still have Everton can have a decent second half of the season, but it's one thing. You've got to do it. This is a game that's there for the taking. And if Everton, if he gets it right with the formation and the players put the effort in like they did at Chelsea, like they did against Arsenal, they'll win the game. And it'll make everyone feel better, and we'll move on to 22 points and you can start going, I'll tell you what, got Villa next week, and Villa I think have got United at the weekend. If we were to beat Norwich and United beat Villa, we're on the same points, then you're going into that next game at Goodison level with them, and Dean will be playing, so there'll be a point to prove. There's an edge with Gerrard and all that. It changes the atmosphere. If Everton get beat at the weekend, going into that Villa game going, oh my God.
But I'm a bit like you in my head. I think, how do you survive getting beat by Norwich?
You can't.
How do you survive as a manager getting beat by Norwich?
Team has scored 8 goals all season.
You've your excuses. You're all out of excuses. And the anger will just boil over. So I think he's got to get a. I think he's got to win.
He's got to win, otherwise I think he'll be gone. In my opinion, he should be gone. And we're going to have to go out and make sure we get that win, because it's the halfway point for us on Saturday, the 19th game. We've got 19 points after 19 games. It doesn't bode very well, does it?
I think Newcastle and Burnley are playing each other as well, are they?
There's some bad games this weekend.
So you've got that thing where...
You've got all of those where if they're getting points and You just need draws in every other game, don't you? Which is
Just
terrible.
need 3 points. Let's have a little look at Norwich's team that faced West Ham.
So 4-2-3-1. Again, it's Pucky, isn't it? He's up on his own.
Yeah.
He's a sharp little player. If you give him a chance, he's got good movements. You've got to make sure you've marked what's the run of him. But we should be able to exploit their back line. You know, we did at Goodison. You know, Brandon Williams playing left back. He's got the pace, but he's all right foot. You know, Max Aarons leaves big gaps in behind him. You know, Hanley's one of the centre backs. They've got Ben Gibson played there, who, you know, was not very mobile at all. Everton can exploit it.
Yeah.
It's making sure we get hold of the ball. Damari Gray can tear them apart, but you've got to get hold of the ball first, and we can't give them any encouragement. If we could go out and establish ourselves in the game early on, we could really, I think we could put them to the sword.
Well, that's exactly what we've got to do.
Got it.
Let's just have a little look at Pookie's numbers. He is their danger man.
19 appearances, 19 starts, 5 goals, no assists, averaging 1.6 shots per game. And he is the danger man. He's always the danger man because he's their chief. He's the focal point for them. And I guess
he's a goal scorer. If you give him chances, just that. You know,
he hasn't got loads of pace,
no.
which is why when he scores loads in the Championship and that extra level of quality when you come up, it's more difficult. But you've still, I mean, didn't he score against us last time he were up at Goodison and he beat us 2-0? Sure, he scored the first, or he was instrumental in that win. We've got to make sure that we don't give him any room to run into, and that's what it's about. Everton should be looking to go here and beat these 3-0 or something, and go,
should be confident.
Really put these to bed and let's move on, and we can start going. You know, prove the manager right. Yeah. He said they're going to have a strong half of the season. Prove him right.
I think you've got to go there and you've got to act like you're in a false position. And I'm not saying we are in a false position, by the way, but I think you've got to act that way, haven't you?
Puff your chest out and go, we're actually a good side. And we've had terrible injuries, which is why we're where we are, and we're about to now show you all that we're a good side. That's how you have to do it. You've got to do it, but the manager's that's got to be instilled into the players, and you've got to get some enthusiasm into these players and, you know, give them that confidence.
That comes from him, and, you know, he doesn't instill fans with confidence, but he's got to start instilling players with confidence, and players have got to be happy, you know, to play the way
he wants them to
play, and there has to be something there.
Everton are looking to complete just their second Premier League double over Norwich. That's atrocious, isn't it? The last one was in the 2004-05 campaign. Dunk scored the winner down there, and we beat them 1-0 at home, didn't we? Everton have lost their last 2 Premier League games against promoted sides. Only twice in the competition have they had longer runs. 4 between September 2000 and 2001, February 2001, and 4 between April and November 2019. Norwich have lost each of their last 13 Premier League games against the 6 ever-present sides in the competition. They've taken just 5 points from the last 45 available in the Premier League home games. Won 1, drew 2, lost 12. They've only scored 5 goals in that time. After taking 4 points from the first 2 away games this season, Everton have picked up just 2 more in the 7 since, 2 draws and 5 defeats. Shocking. And yet those 2 draws were Manchester United and Chelsea, which is crazy. And then scored in his last 2 Premier League games against Norwich, September 2019, and in the game earlier in the season. Damari Gray and Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored in each of Everton's first 4 away goals in the Premier League, netting 2 each. Since then, the Toffee's 4 away goals in the competition have been netted by different players. Townsend, Iwobi, Rondon, Branthwaite. We've scored 4 away goals since the Brighton game. That's embarrassing. There you go.
But I do think if we can get it right defensively, that's obviously where it starts. It's where it starts, isn't it?
This is a chance for us to win, definitely.
Keep a clean sheet, and I think we'll get the 3 points.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
3-0 win, please, Everton.
Just be normal.
Just be like a side that, you know, Arsenal boy beat them 5-0 there the other week. Yeah. Just go there and get a goal.
Just be normal.
Just be normal. Just win a game like 3-0. Be 3-0 up at half 3. Yeah. And then just be a boring next hour. That'll be nice.
It would be nice.
I'm Mathew.
It would be nice. There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on this one. Are you nervous? Do you think, you know, we should be going there and getting the 3 points? And what does it mean for Rafa Benitez if the outcome isn't 3 points? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, join us over on Patreon. This show is live on Patreon right now, so if you want to jump on and get live shows every single day, please do. Links in the description and it's on the screen just there. See you later.